afternoon, nighttime, random county. We are back with another episode of this here podcast. And I am the spookiest of Sukies, and I am here with a glow-in-the-dark shirt in the movie
hell
theater.
yeah.
In the movie theater.
Oh, as long as I'm disruptive, yes. Hey, turn your shirt down.
Because that might have been a thing that happened. But it's okay. Nobody said anything.
I think wait, you?
The group of us
Oh.
at the bachelorette party. I made us t-shirts.
Were all of them glow in the dark?
Yeah. And I didn't really think about it when we were like, let's go see a movie. I was like, yeah. And then we went, and our shirts were so fucking bright. And they were bright like all day. You would like, we were walking out and about, and then we would like go into a store, and they would just be like, whoom. It's like, oh God, we're so glowing.
The bright clothes.
But we did get compliments on them, so that was cool.
Hell yeah.
All right, so
They are Spooky Suki originals?
kind of.
Well, yeah. But you made them.
Yes, I made them.
Yeah.
And I now have an auto press, so it'll be less hard to make more
Oh, 'cause
shirts
you
now.
can just get the whole thing like all at once. Just
Well, yeah, because with the thing that I have, it's like a 9-inch by 9-inch square, and you
Yeah.
gotta really press that sucker down. So I have to like put my whole body weight on that bastard.
all 7 pounds of you. Goddamn.
What, meh.
Okay,
And,
sorry, 107 pounds.
And it was kind of exhausting trying to press that shit down for 30 seconds or whatever, and then move it, and then press it down for another 30 seconds. So, yeah, I got an auto press. So all of that goes away. I just have to sit there and go, psh, which will be nice.
I can tend to your other duties.
Well, I think you still have to, like, kind of
Oh,
hold it. I don't know.
Why is it called an auto press?
I
then?
haven't actually used it.
Isn't that the auto part of the auto press?
I haven't used it yet.
Or
so
I don't know, the press part of the auto press?
I haven't used it yet. I don't know what it does. Could
Yes.
light my house on fire for all I know. Woo! So I have a trivia question for you.
Okay, I'm good at trivia.
I don't think you're gonna get this one. But I'll give you hints if you get lost.
Bam Bam is always telling me that like I know all the weirdest stuff.
Yeah, but you only know weird stuff.
That's what trivia is.
That's the difference. All right, here we go.
Okay.
From the 26th of May, 1951 to the 26th of September, 1952, all 54 individuals on this list were alive at the same time. Who were they? Or what connected them?
51 to 52. May to September.
Yeah, all of these people were alive at the same time. And there's one thing that connects them.
I want to say something with the Nobel Prize.
No.
Like they're all Nobel Prize laureates.
Nope.
No, there had to be more exclusive than that. The 50s. But only to 52. Are they veterans of any sort?
No.
Of like a war? Are they business people?
Some of them.
Is it the last monarchs of Europe?
No.
Oh. No, because there actually is like a picture, like I think it's the 40s of like, or no, it's right before World War One. It's like all the monarchs of Europe, and there's like,
Oh, really?
it's like 11. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, because that was back before all the democratic
Yep.
reforms and everything. You'll have to give me a hint.
Okay. So there's an extensive age range of this. So, September 1952 would have been when somebody died, and then 51 would have been when someone was born.
This is survivors of like an atomic blast.
Nope.
No, am I close?
Nope.
God damn it!
That's why I said this one's gonna be hard.
Does it have to do with the arts? Is like movies or
Kind of, yes.
kind of? Okay.
It's the list is something of the arts, but the people aren't necessarily.
Artists. Okay.
No, not artists. Specific. Oh, what the fuck was that? That was my watch. Um,
Oh, that-
I feel like if I say any more in that direction, I'm going to give it away.
well, I'm not,
The people are not the artists, but they are a part of something.
were they like
No.
extras in a movie then?
No.
Or they're the last people that went to Woodstock. No, that didn't happen for another 20 years.
That's the 90s.
No, the original Woodstock,
Oh,
in
the
like
original.
76. Was it 69? It's the hippie era. That's 50s. Part of the arts,
Not necessarily like
but they're not artists.
art.
Yeah, I'm thinking like music or film or something like that.
Mhm.
People named Beethoven? Like,
Nope.
the last people named Beethoven?
Do you want?
Yeah,
Another
I'm not,
hint?
I don't think I'm gonna.
It has something to do with music, but remember the people on the list don't have anything to do with music.
The original cast of Grease? No, wait, that was the 80s.
That's a movie.
Set in the 50s. Yeah, but it's a musical. I don't know, the cast of the first Broadway musical?
Nope. Do you give up?
Yes.
So all of the people on this list are in the song. The original song. We didn't start the fire
Oh,
in chronological order.
that's actually kind of awesome. Wait, yeah, because that's right, it is the 50s.
Yeah.
Because in high school we had it was like our senior final in history. We called it the 50s project, and you do a certain amount of things and then you get like points for doing the things.
Yeah.
Like you get like you had to get to like 150 points total, and like you can do a book report on a political book written in the 50s, and you get like basically half the points for it.
Oh, nice.
But there was 1 point awarded for identifying each of the political controversies listed in "We Didn't Start the Fire."
Yeah.
So I listened to that song like 1,000 times
Yep.
because I can get half the points that way.
Yep.
Yen Ben Fu Falls,
Yep. That'd be the one.
rock and roll and color wars. Yeah.
The only reason this had come up recently on my stuff is because I was listening to the redo by Fall Out Boy too much, and the algorithm was like, "Hey, you like that song?
You like-
Here's some," and you like Tom Scott. Here's here's a trivia question that they did. So
Did
yeah,
they redo? I thought like someone, they redid it, but it
Yeah.
was like modern.
Fall Out Boy did
Yeah.
modern, but it's not in chronological order like the original was,
Oh,
which a lot of people are hating on it for that. But I say
they got to make the thing.
that would have been really hard.
Well, yeah, but that's part of the artistry was getting all this stuff to actually like rhyme and be in meter, and then actually still telling a coherent story.
Yeah. So the Fall Out Boy version is just like a bunch of random stuff. Like it's not. It is
Yeah.
a section of time. And I can't remember what section of time it is. I think it was.
We didn't
23?
fire.
Where's my covers that slap playlist? Because it's on there.
Belgians in the Congo.
Emo covers that slap. Okay,
Is that
There
your,
it is.
your playlist?
it is. So the one from Fall Out Boy is from 1989 to 2023.
Oh, that's a big range.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, just so you know, people out there, there is another one. And it's pretty good. I like it. So that is the trivia question. Moving
Actually, I have a playlist on Spotify called Revolution Rock, and it's all like Rise Against.
Yes, of course.
And like The Offspring. Like it's all like the political punk, like,
Yeah.
awesome stuff.
And I love how like people now are like, "Oh my god, why are you guys so political?" Blah blah blah. It's like they were always that way.
Yeah. It's like
What in the world?
yeah, the common trope right now is Rage Against the Machine. It's like, when did you guys become political? What the fuck do you think our name means? Like
Well, and yeah, the guy has like a bachelor's in.
Tom Morello has a graduate with honors from Harvard in political law.
Yeah. It's like I think he would know. I think he would know the things, guys. What? Just like the guy from Wait, is that who's the guy from The Offspring? Is that who you're talking about?
Oh.
No, who's the guy from the
no,
singer for
Tom Morello he's the guitarist for Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
But
the singer for The Offspring also is like...
No, I think it's the guitarist. Yeah, he's like a Cal Berkeley, like...
No, the singer's like super smart too.
Oh,
like
really?
crazy smart, and he has multiple degrees, I think. So, yeah, I mean, if you get all of the degrees, I guess the only option left is to make music.
So, there's a whole like thing like jocks versus the nerds, like the science people versus like the music people, and how they just can't mesh. Do you know that all of the members of Queen, aside from Freddie Mercury, were like science laureate, like
nerds,
like they had like masters and PhDs,
yeah.
and then Freddie Mercury is like this art student.
You're like, hello, I'm here.
And when they join forces, they create the most iconic music of the century.
Yeah,
it's like they politically divided us. We got to get back together, guys.
Wee. All right. In other news,
wait, I want to talk about our snacks because I have no idea what the fuck these are.
I was gonna do that for the drinks section.
Oh, okay.
Goob. No. So. In space news, the Boom Supersonics XB-1 silently broke the sound barrier on February 10th. So, this plane is crazy.
Clearly.
So they were testing it, obviously, and they had pictures of it too, where you could see it visibly breaking the sound barrier.
Oh, or like you can see the shockwave over the front of it.
But it didn't make a sound. But to be fair, the nose on this thing is like... So here's the size of the plane, and here's like the fucking nose. Okay. The nose is so long.
Spooky is holding out about a hand width is the size of the plane, and then about a forearm's length is the length of the nose. So the nose is longer than the rest of the plane.
Don't actually quote me on that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, but there's a disproportionate amount. So
yeah, like the nose is quite long and pointy.
Okay.
If you think of like the old Concords and how their noses were kind of slim and conical, that's kind of what this looks like, but in a longer form, slimmer.
Did you know the front of the Concorde moved?
Yeah.
Like the nose of it would drop for landing.
Takeoff and landing, yeah.
So like where they could see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
the Concords were nuts. Absolutely nuts. And if they wouldn't have had that big old bad crash, I think we would have still saw them around. Maybe.
I thought there was also a deal with like they couldn't fly it over residential areas like at speed. Like you wouldn't be able to take it from like New York to LA.
What you would really use them for is over the ocean. Which
that's what there were.
There's a lot of planes that do that.
Well, no, it was all like New York to London, New York to Paris.
Yeah. So I watch planes on my...
Hey, you have the whole phone app.
Yeah.
That thing's actually kind of rad.
You see some shit on there sometimes. Is it? What?
Yes, that's you.
Is it making noise? It's not making noise. Shut the fuck up. Like the other day I saw Training Jets by Corpus Christi.
Oh.
Which was cool. But what I look for most of the time is like the big Airbuses, and I can't remember the number, the A380s, and the 747s is what I look for the most. And sometimes you'll get across something that I want to do a topic on sometime in the spoopy category. So I won't talk about it too much, but there is a spooky airline.
What, a spooky airline?
There is a spooky airline.
Like Spirit?
Get the fuck out of here. Out you go. You've been fired. No.
How's come sidetracking with us? I know that you dear viewers.
I don't know. It's kind of bothering me.
I know it's really wicked with me. Usually, as we're recording, we can see our waveform, but
I wonder if there's a button that I can press.
Probably.
I'm afraid to.
No, that's not it. Don't do that one.
Are you sure? What happens if I click it?
Catch playhead.
I mean, we could always just start again.
Roll the dice. Let's go.
All right. Well, if there's a slight pause, you'll know why.
That's why. No, we did it. Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. It might not move.
Oh,
We'll see.
the adventure continues.
It's going.
So yes, Spoopy Airline.
Yeah, we're going to do a topic about that. So
Okay.
I don't want to... That's it for that for now.
Okay. Well, I have other aeronautical news.
Oh.
The astronauts trapped on the space station.
Oh,
came
yeah.
back.
That was one of the things I had.
Or even like every couple episodes we get back to it. It's like they're still up there.
Yeah. They were up there for 9 months.
Yes, they're rescued from the ISS. Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore.
But,
Yeah, they're up
okay,
there for 9
listen.
months.
So I was keeping track of that as well. And God, people are unhinged about shit. So she came back,
Yeah.
and they were just absolutely roasting her for her hair growing out and, like, looking not so good. And it's like, dude, they were up there. They were supposed to be up there for what, like a week?
I don't know how long a
It
typical
wasn't supposed to be
ISS
long.
mission is.
Well, them specifically, they weren't supposed to be up there that long. They were there for 9 months. That's 8 months too long. So yeah, she's not gonna have her hairdresser up there. Like, what the frick?
I bet they actually probably got a lot of cool like longevity science done, because 9 months, that's also a trip to Mars. I mean, yeah, I know it's
I think
different.
people have been up there that long already,
Yeah.
but just the unplanned part.
Well, yeah,
Not
and again,
so
well,
good.
that's NASA's thing, is that they plan for every emergency. That's actually one of the reasons why they were stuck up here, was because their return capsule like failed to check, and NASA has an actual perfect track record. No NASA employee, astronaut or otherwise, has died in space. People have died in reentry,
Yeah.
and they've died on launch, but they've never died in space.
I mean, that's good.
There are some conspiracy theories that that's probably not the case with the Russians.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing, because NASA is actually a functioning company. Like when they make a mistake, they put stuff in they implement things to not make the mistake again.
Yeah.
When Columbia disintegrated on a reentry, they found out that it was because a piece of foam fell off and broke through the heat shield. So then every space shuttle launch after that, when they would go to the ISS, they would actually roll it over, and they would like visually inspect
Yeah.
the not the lander. What is it called?
The
The
capsule.
actual space shuttle.
Yeah, like the capsule part.
No, they have a name for it. Space plane, glider. No, damn it, whatever. Or they would actually like inspect it, and if
Yeah.
if it failed, then they would have to come up with another plan. Because actually, usually when they launch shuttles, they actually would have a backup ready to go,
Yeah.
just in case something happens.
Crazy.
For that reason.
Yeah.
So no, this thing like it failed some checks. It's like, well, can't get you down just yet.
Yeah. I mean, is it still attached up there, or did they send it back? The
That
capsule.
I don't know. But
That I
apparently,
would be interested in.
because she was there for so long, Suni, I think, is actually like either the top or top 5 like time spent in EVA on spacewalk.
Oh, cool.
So that's kind of fucking rad.
Yeah, that's
so
rad.
I assume maybe they fixed it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. It might still be up there, or they might have brought it back down. I don't know. I would assume they would send it back down empty.
Well, or have it just like crash in the ocean or something like that if it's unrepairable.
Yeah.
Because if it's not safe for for
Yeah.
humans to be in.
Yeah.
Also, like, it's like, well, why couldn't they just like launch them up and hitch a ride? It's like NASA also follows procedure to the letter.
Yeah.
I can't just like, oh, I'm just gonna go down with you guys. I'll catch the next one. It's like,
Yeah,
no, they are
no.
assigned to these things. Like,
Yeah.
like the stuff is built specifically for these people. It's not, you can't just like plug and play. It's randos.
Yeah. That is sad though, with the Russian accident, we'll call it. That the guy that ended up getting burned to a crisp, which is awful.
There's a couple.
He only went so his best bro, which is his backup, didn't have to go.
I think his backup was Yuri Gagarin.
I don't remember. I'd have to look again. It's been so long since I've looked into that because I read all about it, every single bit of it.
Well,
But that was eons ago.
There's some different style of ethics for a lot of the Roscosmos. which is Russia's version of NASA, where like, well, they did animal testing, but they didn't know how to safely bring them back. But well,
Yeah.
better than a human, I guess. There's like, again, there's a little bit of urban legend around it, but there are like radio messages of there's a woman in space from Russia that like burned up in reentry.
Yeah.
It's like, it's getting really hot in here. It's like, okay. But and again, like just because of East versus West, we don't really know exactly what happened.
Yeah. And there's also been rumors of like Chinese cosmonauts as well that didn't go well and
didn't make
whatnot.
it. Well, not didn't make it back, but I thought like got launched kind of into deep space.
Yeah,
Like it didn't. Yeah.
There's a lot of stories out there. I don't know. Who knows what's true or not because they won't talk to us about space stuff.
Yeah. Did you know that in the Soyuz capsule, which is basically it's the Russian Apollo mission, that's what they used for a long time when they retired the space shuttle. They'd actually go to Russia and then launch in.
Yeah.
So some of the standard equipment in the capsule itself was actually a gun. Because where it would land is in like the steppe of Kazakhstan.
Oh.
And there's wildlife there that will kill you and
Yep.
eat you. So they have to have a gun so they can
God.
defend themselves. I was like, so yes, there are
Wowzers.
guns in space.
Guns in space. Oh yeah, there was always that myth about like the U.S. spent millions of dollars or whatever to have a pen be able to use in space or whatnot, and the Russians
They used a pencil.
solution, yeah, but that's not true because you literally can't use a pencil in space
No.
because it'll break
Yeah.
or maybe will break and kill everything by
Yeah.
getting stuck in stuff.
Like the graphite in a pencil, like because the way that's like polarized is not good in zero G. And also, if you break the tip on a pencil, you have to sharpen it. Those shavings don't just go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like you can't just like throw them in a trash can and they're fine. Like
It was actually a specific company that made the space pen and then like sold it to the U.S. and Russia. Russia also uses the same exact space pen that we use.
But I think it also like pioneered just a ballpoint pen because like I mean before it was all fountain pens like
Yeah,
we use now.
like what we got.
But yeah, like a ballpoint pen, all the ink is in a vacuum.
Yep.
That's why it works.
Yep.
And it works upside down.
Yep, and you don't have to worry about shavings.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting-
That's also like one of the rigorous things in
Burned up.
NASA is like nothing can be flammable.
yeah.
It's like
I
the
can
wood in
see-
a pencil is very flammable.
Yep, I can see why. Burst into flames. Anywho.
Okay, so do you want more science or do you want more political
Oh,
news?
we get to pick.
Yes.
Let's go with political.
So the Dropkick Murphys are kicked off of Twitter for making fun of Donald Trump and Elon Musk at a show.
Hell yeah!
It's not that they posted something on Twitter and they were unhappy about it. It was fuck these guys, and then Elon kicked them off. And I'm like, let's go,
Lol.
Dropkick Murphys.
Kudos to those guys.
They're like they put on a really really good show, and like they do like activism for like workers' rights and stuff like that because that's where they came from. That's what
Yeah,
they know. Like,
yeah.
and that's what all their music is about. Like they actually practice what they preach. There's kind of a hilarious thing to do at a show if they see someone with a red hat on. I saw a clip. It's like, you, sir, I don't want to make fun of you. I just want to have the conversation. It's, I want to give you some free merch. What's your T-shirt size? We'll just have a little wager. You get a free shirt, or if not, you'll still get the free shirt. But proudly, all of these shirts they're made in the USA and they're printed locally and stuff like that. And it's all hardworking Americans that make this stuff. Can you take your hat off and read the tag? It says made in China. It's like, here, have some American apparel instead.
Lol. See, there's a lot of bands out there right now that like I don't like their music per se, but goddamn, I love their attitude.
I fucking love Dropkicks.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, I don't like their music is fine. It's just like not for me specifically.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely.
But
my jam.
I still like them. Like I'll still be like, hell yeah, let's go. And like I'd still go and see them, even if like they're not per se my tune. But I'll go see them. Like why the hell not? Support your local bands.
Dropkick Murphys is not a local band. They're from
Well.
Boston.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, support your local bands. Not necessarily.
Oh yeah. Also,
Yeah.
also support
Support your local
bands.
bands. Just as a flat statement.
Yes. No, so some of the best concerts I've ever been to are tiny bar shows and basement shows.
But yeah, I don't have any music updates either. I haven't been working on music stuff, so sorry about it. I've been busy. All right.
Yeah. What other part of your Renaissance woman are you honing?
I'm doing sewing stuff right now. I'm trying to get a bunch of my projects done quick. I haven't really been studying much either, which is shit. So
Your test isn't until another.
well, I might.
Ew, it is sticky in there. Gross.
I said that. And depending on what results I get from the test that I took this last December, I might just retake that one because I'm not in as big of a hurry now.
I bet you.
But I mean, I'm still gonna keep going.
These are weird.
They are weird. It's almost time. What's your science news?
There is a chip manufacturer. I don't know if it's Intel or it's NVIDIA or if it's just TSMC. They're finding out that silicone might not be the best for integrated circuits. Like silicone is very, very stable. A lot of metals will turn into other metals given a long enough time.
Yeah.
The famous one is uranium eventually turns into lead. Like carbon eventually changes form.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
So, this is fucking wild.
Let's go.
Zirconia.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's crazy. So they date zirconia by. So uranium gets trapped in zirconia.
Yeah, in the making of a mineral. Yeah.
You can tell how old they are by how much lead is in it.
Mm.
And most of them are old as fuck. Like older than trees, older than sharks.
Okay, that's fucking rad.
Yeah. Like, they think that a lot of them were formed when the earth was still like lava.
Oh, yeah,
and then the lava cooled.
Because, zirconium needs like...
and the uranium got trapped in them then, and then...
Yeah.
The half-life of uranium and turning into lead. And did you know... I didn't know this. Our planet cannot make gold.
Yeah.
So all of the gold has come from outer space.
Yes, anything on the periodic table of elements that is heavier than iron is, in air quotes, not naturally occurring.
Yeah.
Which means it takes it takes a supernova to make those.
Yeah.
Like everything else up till then, like is this naturally occurring in stars? Like you can take like a bite out of the sun and get a bunch of different stuff. You get mostly hydrogen and some helium, but
you don't get mostly dead.
But well, I mean, you probably would too. But like, yeah, the only way to make heavier things than that is for stars to explode.
Yeah, yeah. That shit's crazy. So you can have a ring that's older than like the formation of Earth, land.
Yeah, yeah.
And held by space rock.
That's actually one of like if you actually do just a little bit of a like rabbit hole dive into like deep time, not deep time in the future, but deep time in the past, is there was a point in the universe where like you couldn't see anything because photons hadn't existed yet because there wasn't enough stuff coalesced to create heat to create light.
There was another thing that I read that was just a blip of something that was like, scientists now think that we're just in a black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neat. Anyway.
No, did I send that thing to you? It's the immortality experiment.
Oh, God, no.
I am immortal. And you can only prove that I'm not if you kill me.
That's fair. Anyways, back to whatever the hell you were talking
so
about.
bismuth, which actually is one of the it's the most stable heavy element. I think heavy is I can't remember. I think bismuth is 84, maybe. But it actually has like a really kind of like cool crystalline structure because it forms perfect squares.
Yeah.
Like, you've ever seen like bismuth crystals? They look they're iridescent. They look really, really
Which
cool.
is so wild because most things out and about in nature
Don't make right angles.
don't make squares, but
Yeah.
some things do.
But bismuth also has a half-life of like 1 trillion years or something like that.
Jesus.
So like the isotopes of bismuth is so stable that it'll basically last forever. And so it actually makes them very, very good for like chips like that, things that where like a lot of heat will go through. In prototypes, they're 40% faster and use 10% less power. So we have bismuth chips instead of silicon chips, which I
be
find
pretty
that fucking rad.
That would be dope. Also, if you think about it, so computers are basically real magic
Yeah.
because you're taking pieces of rock and etching shit on it, and it
Oh yeah.
does
You put runes on the rock.
Yeah.
And then you run power through it, and then magic happens
Yep.
on the other end.
So computers are magic.
I believe that.
I'm down with that theory. Because we do just do some like crazy shit that definitely should not work, but does work.
No, that's I can't remember who said it, but it's like something to the effect of science to previous or science now to previous generations would be indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the fact that you would be able to talk to someone a continent away now would seem absolutely insane to someone during the Industrial Revolution. Like even
just your phone.
Yeah.
Take your phone back
Yeah.
to the 1800s and be like, look at this thing.
well,
Although it wouldn't work.
no, but if you were to download like all of Wikipedia or something like that,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you have the sum of all human knowledge in your pocket, and you use it to send frog memes to friends.
I mean, I play crosswords to go to sleep.
That's how you go to sleep.
Yep.
Like, see, I could get like way too like dived into it. It's like I need to finish the crossword. It's like, well, that one is too easy. Give me another one.
Or like I would say Sudoku does, but it doesn't. And I'm almost to the point where I'm kind of too good at it,
Yeah.
which is a weird thing to be good at, I think.
Well, the Sudoku is weird because there's hard level techniques where you start to get into like statistics. It's like, oh shit, okay, like I got that far, and I'm like, no,
I've never used math for one of them.
no, it's well,
I'm really good at guessing,
it's
though.
not math. It's probability, but probability is math. Whatever,
Everything's math.
everything's math.
Oh, I did order the book, and we will do I'll do a podcast topic on it at some point, and I think you would be very interested in it. And it's called "Everything is Tuberculosis."
Oh, is this a John Green book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
John Green.
I bought an autographed copy,
Okay, that's rad.
but we shall see when it arrives. If it's actually autographed or if it's just like machine printed on there something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited to read that. We will definitely have a topic about that
Okay, yeah.
next time I roll books. Because everything is tuberculosis.
Everything is awesome.
It's just a good title. Alrighty, should we talk about our snackies?
Yeah, so I've been actually meaning to give you these snacks for a couple of weeks now. I just keep forgetting them in my backpack.
Maybe that's why they're so sticky.
Well, these ones aren't.
I know. I wonder if it's just like the...
Because that one's got like glittery, sugary stuff on it. I don't know. So you have stress heads,
Yes.
and I have focus fish. And I found these.
From Tandy.
Yeah, I found these at Hayit.
Gummies powered by GABA. What do these ones say? Gummies powered by American Ginseng. Oh, I take ginseng sometimes when I remember.
Oh, it's the actual like nutraceutical. They're not just like here's a bunch of fucking chemicals to
No.
jack with your brain. So they actually are like good.
Yeah, this one has prebiotic vegetable starch, sugar, water, chicory root, gelatin, lactic acid, pectin, citric acid, color, which is actually natural color too. It actually tells you.
Yeah. They're not like just red dye number 14.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Spirulina, which I think is a seaweed. Turmeric. And fruit and vegetable juice. Juice.
What does it say? Like, eat one bag until you feel good or something like that?
Enjoy a bag per day as needed. Works within 30 to 60 minutes.
So if we start to sound like really, really smart, that's why.
Maybe you do, in fact, need a bag per day.
So,
Although I'm doing
and
the stress ones.
Ginseng is like, that's like a memory thing. Yeah.
Ginseng is just overall, your hands are warm.
My hands are always warm. I have a high metabolism.
I do too, but I'm always cold.
Oh, GABA.
GABA.
Yeah.
I
That's
think.
I thought that's actually like not a neurotoxin, but like it's like a nerve thing, I believe.
A neurotropic? Neurotropic?
No, it's a commonly, or it's something that already exists like within you, but it like connects to neurotransmitters.
Drugs.
Basically, well, everything's drugs.
Everything's drugs. Maybe that's a book that we should write. Everything is drugs.
Drugs.
That'd be a good one.
Let's see. For drinks, you are still, well, we're both kind of still working through the Hendrix Midsummer Solace gin.
I put too much gin in mine.
All the fucking gin.
It kind of tastes like cough syrup. What is that? Is that a box of wine?
It is.
Aha. Do you want me to open it for you?
I mean, I think I'm capable, but if you'd like to do the honors,
You know, I was just trying to be polite, God damn it.
Well, yes,
That's the last time I ever be polite to you.
That's right. You have to.
Yeah,
open it.
we
sorry.
were just talking about this, dude. Come
Yeah,
on now. God damn.
Well, no, that's actually also why usually when I come here, I bring gifts because it's also part of the culture. No, in Japan you don't pour your own drink, but it's also impolite to like just pass the bottle off and it's like, oh no, here you do this thing for me.
Do you
Yeah, I think it's supposed to go in
I
there,
think
and then the
it's
other
this
side folds in. Yeah.
you even got like a spout?
No, apparently box wine isn't like the garbage.
Yeah, it's not like so bad. Like they used to be bad, all right.
No, Franzia's still shit.
But they make good ones now.
Yes.
I don't know if that one's good. I've never heard of
So this isn't the one that I thought it was, but I got this one because it had
Oh.
cool packaging.
What? It's Cabernet
Cab Sav, but it's bourbon barrel aged.
Bota Box.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what that means.
Um,
Oh, by Bota. That's the brand.
yes.
I see.
But apparently it won 150 gold medals.
That's a lot. Let's try it. Is it good? Is it bad?
Ooh. I mean, it still has the remnants of it's not dry like other
They
Cab
always-
Savs.
I don't know why, but like some of these darker reds just smell like cork to me. And this is obviously never seen a fucking cork. So what's the deal?
No, it's oak cannons. Like, because it was obviously barreled in bourbon
Oh
barrels.
my god, that's actually like
Yeah, I know.
what the hell? I'd like to try. Do they have a Pinot Noir?
They had a few different ones,
We'll
but
have to try another one
Cab
at
Sav
some point.
is my usual go-to.
Yeah, that's pretty
That
good.
or Merlot if I'm feeling
Oh yeah,
extra dry.
I like me a Merlot all the time.
Yeah. But this shape of box wine, it's more of a rectangular prism as opposed to the suitcase that is Francia.
Yeah.
But my granddad's funeral, we're all at his house in this tiny little town in Kansas, and my uncle who had like been living in his house, since he was in hospice, like he did work on it, he just kind of like lived there.
Yeah.
So basically, I was kind of like partying in my grandpa's house, but it was my uncle's house, and he keeps pulling out like more and more of these. I don't know where the hell he kept getting them, but there kept being more and more boxes of this wine. Also, in Kansas, they don't have full strength beer; they don't have 3.2 beer.
Yep.
And so, like between me and my little bro Zipper Tidy, like we both put away like a case of Coors Light, and it was like we should be way more drunk. It's like, yeah, because you're drinking half strength beer.
Oh, maybe we should get some of those for beer darts.
Oh God,
You ever thought about that?
we'd have to go across state line. I don't know. Does South Dakota do 3.2 beer?
Kansas does?
Yeah.
I am sometimes very near Kansas because
I guess if you really, really want to.
my in-laws' house is
Yeah.
like not far from
Yeah,
the
it's
Kansas
like
border at all.
30 miles.
Not even. I don't think it's even that.
Oh, really?
I think
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
I think it's maybe like 5. They are damn near out
Very, very
out
soon.
of Nebraska, which is fine. It's fine. It's nice out there. It's peaceful. Anyway, yeah, I like me some Merlot. Shit, I'll drink any wine, really. Unless it tastes like butter. I don't like the buttery ones.
What does that mean?
I can't tell you which ones they are specifically, but some wines, some of the red dry varieties have like a butter taste to them. And I don't like that. I think that's icky.
Apparently, I'm not either bougie enough for a sommelier.
Okay, so one of these days, what we'll have to do is buy one of each
Oh, hell yeah.
thing of wine, and then we can figure out which wines we like and which wines we don't like.
Well, that could be fun.
And we could do a wine review.
No, let's do that live. Or like,
Yeah,
just
that's
live
what I'm
stream it.
saying. We should keep a list, and we should just go through all the wine things and figure out which ones we like.
Yeah.
feel like that
Well,
would be a good-
this guy was
good deal.
like $15.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah. And it's
It's supposed to be like 4
I
bottles,
thought
too?
it's like 3 or 4 bottles.
That's nuts, though.
3 liters, 4 bottles of wine.
Need this.
Yeah, I can get pretty fucked up on this.
Yeah, you could just like take one of those to a party and just be like,
No, you've never done that?
no.
You've never played slapbag?
What kind of insanopath?
You've never played? Oh my god, you've never played slapbag?
No, you gotta remember, when I was in college, I drank this fucking shit that had glitter in it to look like a magic potion. And I thought I was the coolest person ever.
Oh, Hypnotic.
No, it was Vinique.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, it's the same people that. Yeah, except the Vinique
is
is
it?
purple.
No, they had purple, they had red, and they had one other color. Was it green? Might have been green because I mixed that one with Mountain Dew. I don't know. I can't remember what it tasted like. Couldn't tell you.
There's one chick I used to hang out with. She would drink Kinky, and it was like a blood orange liqueur, and it was pink.
That still exists.
Oh, it does?
I think.
Oh. It's like we get. I mean, it's Midori. Like, it's like 13%.
You know, I was out and about with Frog Mama,
Nah.
and I realized I'd never had Midori.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, it's green. It says green.
And it's Japanese for green.
Yeah,
How the hell?
because like there's some melon flavors that are bad.
Oh.
So I don't know. I was kind of iffy about it.
Well, I think this is in quotes melon flavored. I
Oh.
don't know if it was cucumber, if it was cantaloupe, or
Well, it better not be fucking cucumber, because I hate cucumber flavored things. Don't like that.
also
shit.
melon could also be like pumpkin.
Yeah, there's a lot of different melons out there. It could be like honeydew, though.
Oh, before we use up all the time. Did you know you can crossbreed a watermelon with a pumpkin and it becomes something really weird? I want to try it sometime. I'm gonna try it this summer.
You're gonna have a garden.
I'm gonna try.
You're gonna
things.
grow. I have that herb book that I need to go through and grow some herbs so I can be an apothecary on the side.
Well, we have a book to talk about, but
Yeah.
first, before we talk about the book, you should buy our merch.
We have a book to talk about.
Oh, isn't that what you rolled?
No,
Oh, what did you roll?
random.
Oh,
No, this is the 2-part.
oh,
Did you forget about that?
yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Wee.
But yes, buy our merch, please. I'm hella broke.
Yeah. Unless you want Spooky to be
Please.
homeless, please buy shirts, stickers, and pins.
Yeah. You can also support at patreon.com/random roulette. I have that on my Twitch right now.
Hey, there you go.
We'll see if we get any hits that way. Although I only had 1 viewer today. I will hopefully get around to making more TikToks, and we will be more active on social media too, I think. Unless I forget.
Good job.
I don't know. I thought, for some reason, my mind was like, that'll definitely make it.
It's like, where did it
Does
go?
it disappear? Anywho. Do we have anything else? We talked about the snacks. We talked about... Oh, I'm drinking the gin that we had
Yes, we started with that.
last
Yes,
week.
your Hendrix gin.
Yes. Midsummer with... Actually, the Cherry Blossom LaCroix is actually legit.
No,
By the
it
way,
actually kind of rocks. Even though
The other flavors pretty
think,
shit.
I think it was just popular just to dunk on LaCroix because LaCroix.
No, because I did try them.
Oh, okay.
And it tasted like somebody whispered a flavor at it while it was being made and hoped for the best. Just like,
Well, no, and the reason why people think that's bad is because they're so used to this, high fructose, sludge
Yeah.
that we ingest. It's like
That-
lemon lime should taste like Mountain Dew. It's like that's not what lemon lime actually tastes like.
my father called me about Mountain Dew today.
Damn it, we're never gonna get to this thing. But no, like if you just you have sparkling water, a little bit of flavor, like that's what LaCroix is. Sparkling water. It's not pop.
Yeah, I don't like sparkling water that much, I think is my problem.
Well, then why the hell do you like LaCroix?
I don't, but it's cherry blossom.
God damn.
It's the only reason I bought it, because I hated every other flavor that I ever tried. Thought they were gross. Anyway,
What do you got for us today, Spooky?
so my two-parter is going to be more of an open conversation type.
Okay.
So you'll be able to put in your input if you want.
Oh, so I'm not just a
You're not just listening to me.
But don't get me
go
wrong.
on about
That's half
something.
the fun of this thing.
But I thought it'd be more fun to do a discussion on this because we both come from kind of different eras of things going on. Not too vast, but enough where like we've both seen the evolution of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna do a little history first.
Okay.
So that's what this episode is about, is kind of the history of things. So, I don't know how much art history you have. I would assume a little bit.
Art history?
Yeah.
Some.
Not specifically
Say it really depends on things.
not specifically the arts, but like the artistry of things.
Some.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
let's
Like I know that a Byzantine dome came before a Gothic arch,
Yeah.
even though you can
That's
see
about-
those in the same cathedral.
That's about all you need.
Okay.
So if you look at styles of the past, I'm specifically talking about architecture first, I guess. So you get a lot of things from olden days,
How far back are we talking?
pre-industrial revolution.
Okay, so like Victorian.
Well, I can't remember.
And
which one
also,
comes
it also
first.
kind of depends like where you are.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because there was an industrial revolution in the United States, but we didn't have Victorian.
No. Well, we had some.
Okay.
We did have some. But the problem is we've lost a lot of our Victorian things, which is part of this. So I'm kind of talking about kind of when we started doing stonework as peoples.
Okay. Wow, we're going all the way back.
Yeah, this is less about America specifically.
Okay.
So more general human beings.
Okay. Well, okay. Stonework. Now there's different. Like, are we talking Greek? Are we talking Egyptian?
All of it.
Mesopotamian?
All of it.
Okay.
All of it. So the basis is people would make things intricately.
Oh, okay.
Is kind of what we're getting at.
Yeah.
So it's easier to blanket it all under pre-industrial revolution, right?
That is a lot of human history.
I know. That's not necessarily the point, is all of them specifically.
Okay.
So it's okay to kind of put them under a blanket bracket of pre-industrial revolution. We made things pretty nicely. Yep.
Well, yeah. Well,
We had
you had to be specialized to be able to do stuff.
we had artisans that were specifically tasked with certain parts of things that knew their shit, and you could only have another artisan tasked with that specific part to recreate that or do that part, basically. So you had people that did arches. You had people that did the foundation work. You had different people that did doors, intricate doors, and just intricate stonework and woodwork. Those were all separate people. So we get to the industrial part of human beings. And we're still kind of doing some of that stuff, but it's now including like metalwork and ironwork, which is what you see around like New York and stuff still. You get in some of the bigger cities from that part of the U.S.
Yeah, Philadelphia, Boston.
Yeah. The OG, what was it, 13?
Yes, that'd be the 13 original colonies.
Yes, there you go. I was like, is it 13? I don't know.
Think of the quarters. You're probably too young for that.
The quarters?
Yeah.
Excuse me? What?
No.
I was never a coin person, so I don't know.
It was a big fucking deal. I mean, you were 3, I think, when the first one came out in 1999.
Yeah.
But no, it was like a big deal. But they all came out in batches of 5 for 10 years, and they came out in order of statehood. It's like the first, and they would come out like in different parts of the year. So like 1999, January 1, the first quarter release is Delaware.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was the first state.
Yeah.
And then the very last one, what are they?
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you think about when those were getting bigger as cities.
Yep.
Is when the Industrial Revolution was around, and you still have a lot of the intricate ironwork and stuff around, thankfully. But then we get more into the Industrial Revolution, and we get more of our first one that I want to touch on, which is the modernist/brutalist movement.
Yeah, because things had to serve a function more.
Yep.
Than to actually like look pretty. They actually had to do stuff now because
so
things are mechanized.
This is kind of characterized by like a minimalist construction and like structural elements being used as the forefront of said thing, building, or
think of
thing.
Think of like an old school like steam locomotive.
Yeah.
Like, what are the things that it needed to do? It needed to have a fire, it needed to have water, it needed to have wheels. And that's all that those things were. There wasn't any, like, embellishment, like, you know, the hoses and lines, like, went everywhere.
Yep.
Like, you know, all of the connecting rods for things were, like, exposed. They had a function, but there was no, it wasn't, I mean, people can find beauty in that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
But, like, they weren't designed to be aesthetically pleasing.
Yep.
They were designed to function.
And I guarantee you that you've seen a building like this because they're basically like gray boxes with like beams shown. Think about your place of work.
Well, no, I mean, there's a lot of like, well, not necessarily artistry, but there was some poetic license done in that building. The factory where that building was made is definitely function.
But your work building is as well, because brutalism is actually characterized as structural elements showing.
Yep.
Modular setups.
The pods.
Yes. Lack of different color palettes, which I will say it does have some color in it, and they did all right with like the break rooms, but most of it.
Yeah, and the main office area is pretty much grayish.
And it's using the concrete and like the structural elements showing, and using structural elements for aesthetics. Mm-hmm. So technically,
no, it would be brutalist.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
which is terrifying.
I mean, the hallways are kind of colorful.
But brutalism started as like a counter movement to like the retro stylings of the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like, this is the future.
Yeah. You think about, and this movement is still kind of going on, but we're getting a counter movement, but we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. But if you think about like the cars from the 80s, how they
very angular.
Yeah, and futuristic looking, and use of plastics and angles.
The two for me that kind of exemplify that are the 85 Corvette,
Yeah.
where it's very angular, and then like the dash was like all digital.
Yeah.
Like, it looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then also like the Toyota MR2 of that same era is very like, and okay, the GOAT, the DeLorean
Yeah.
would be
Yep.
brutalist.
Yep.
Like exposed structure. The whole thing is stainless
Stainless steel.
Also, use of plastics. The bumpers are plastics. Have the plastic louvers in the windows. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But brutalism is also seen as not just like a stylistic choice. It was also kind of a philosophy of just striving for simplicity and function and clean cut, no frills added to things.
I can think of a couple of examples really quick, but they're both in Colorado. The Denver Art Museum, DAM, the building is built to look like a dam.
Yeah.
So it's all like just straight concrete on the outside. There's no
Yep.
windows. Like it's just a giant monolith in the middle of downtown. Yep. And then in the CU Boulder campus, the engineering building it's all poured concrete. So it's kind of the same way. But there's a really cool courtyard. And it's very strange because there's like all this green in the middle of all this concrete.
Yeah.
It's very, very, the way they did that. Yeah. So it's those type of buildings. That's brutalism.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, where like the structural things are more of a forefront than anything else. And there's an underlying whisper of like utopian society behind these brutalist movements as well, where it's like everything is only made for function.
Utopian or dystopian?
Utopian is how it started out. But now, to us,
it's like
counter movement.
You don't need to feel feelings because we're all the same now. Like where everyone is equal, so there isn't an expression of
like things are only made for function, for use, not for frills, not for fun.
Yeah. It's like why would
to like us, where we're more of counter modernism. Now it feels like dystopian to us because it feels so dead and clean. Like,
ooh,
we'll get to that.
That's its own like.
Hold on to that.
Okay.
We'll get there.
No, I think that's just like a kind of a cool way of thinking of it. It's like freedom from needing something, like everything is provided for you.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, that would be utopian. Everything's provided for you.
Yeah.
But you don't need anything else.
Yeah.
That's brutalism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, you might be wondering, why was this a popular movement then, if it was so stale and gross to how we think of it?
And there's still beauty in it.
Yeah. But, like, if we were going to build something, that's not what we would build.
No.
Exactly. But you got to think. So the people of the time are going from this crazy ornate stuff that they have to hire someone specific to get done. You have to clean that thing. You have to clean the thing you live in with all these ornate features, which, like, once you're done cleaning it, you're almost back on the schedule of cleaning it immediately. So you're always cleaning all of these and dusting all of these inert things. So to the people from, like, the ornate eras, this was a godsend. They didn't have to, like, scrub and dust every single day
also
just to keep their stuff clean.
Just like maintenance of something like that.
You don't have to hire a specialist if your walls are square and your trim is flat.
Yeah, it's like, I actually like kicked a baseboard trim. It's like, well, this is, it's like there's some intricate pattern on it. It's like, well, there's no way I can possibly fix this. I have to hire some guy to do it. It's like, or I can just go to Menards and pick up, piece of trim stand and put it on. Like, okay. So
the huge movement for this was basically over by the early to late 80s. So I'm thinking like 85-ish. Which is smack dab in the middle. So I don't know whether to call that early or late.
Mid.
All right. Mid 80s. This was kind of over as being pushed for. And if you think of other design elements, not just architectural in the 80s.
I'm trying to think of
In the
famous buildings
mid-eighties.
built in the 80s.
I don't know.
We didn't build any like iconic buildings in the 80s, did we?
I mean, you didn't remember them, so.
Okay, so actually, one of
they probably are.
The biggest forms of brutalism was actually in the 70s was the Twin Towers.
Yep.
So that would be
Mm-hmm.
It's all poured concrete, and like the columns on the outside were the part of the aesthetic of it.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's a fucking cube.
Yup. Now, the brutalist movement might have been over, but
So what would take its place then?
the modernist movement was not. So brutalism is technically like a subcategory of modernism.
Mm-hmm.
But modernism still had its holdovers, obviously, until I think the mid-90s.
It's like how do you view the 80s though? Like because
I guess maybe more the early 90s is when it stopped. For
Okay,
brutalism, anyways.
yeah, but like what came next? Like I remember there being a lot of like neon, like that's where like the whole like Miami Vice.
Yep.
Like,
So now, after the 80s, we got into modernism, futurism.
oh yeah, so everything chrome.
Yeah. And everything bright and colorful and whatnot.
Yeah, think of again, this is slightly before your time, but like all of the jackets in the early 90s were like purple and teal.
Yep.
Taco Bell was purple and teal. Solo cups were purple and teal.
But do you remember the interior of Taco Bell's?
Yeah, it was kind of like gray, but then it had like the seats,
No, think about not the colors, but the shapes
lots of triangles and circles.
and like glossy,
Yeah,
curved plastic.
yeah.
So that's where we get to modernism with futurism, still kind of forked in there. Anyway, but yeah, so that's a big contrast to the Victorian age, which we had kind of touched on already.
Yeah, where everything's artisan.
Yeah, where you have steep pitched roofs and castle towers,
Yep, yeah.
which I love that shit.
Or especially with homes, you get like intricate woodwork around like the edges of roofs or like the entrances of things.
And you get lots of color with your Victorian house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they stepped from being quite lovely and colorful to just gray and black and cement.
Well, I definitely think that there is interpretation there. Like, think if you're someone that, of the time that had this house, like, oh, yes, look at me and all these colors that I can afford, and you and your beige hovel. Like,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of, like, pinky out snootiness about all that. Like, now we said, oh, no, look at how pretty this is as opposed to our grayish bullshit.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely get that.
Beige.
But I definitely think that there was a time where, yes, that might have been envied, but also might have been, what's the word I'm thinking of? Middle fingered.
Yeah. But if you think about, so after the Victorian age, we get our modernism age.
Mm-hmm.
Till about the early 90s. We're getting there.
No, I'm just thinking that, like, okay, someone in the 40s or the 30s, this is modern. It's like, it was 100 years ago, bro. You can tell me that's modern? I get it. It's just nomenclature. But
Yeah. So if you think about the modernism movement as a whole, that's a pretty short amount of time compared to the pre-revolution.
Oh, well, yeah, how you started with the Stone Age.
Yeah,
Like,
so we went from having ornate things and lovely to our gray boxes and things. But now we're kind of getting back around to where we want those things again. So modernism as a whole hasn't lasted very long. Even if, now we're getting to it. Because technically right now we're in postmodernism,
yes.
where we still get a lot of modernism tendencies, but we're starting to come back around to where we're wanting more ornate things.
Yeah, but they're. I mean, I think just in the same way as the Victorian era, they're really hard to find, and if you're not making them yourself, you have to hire someone to make them, and it gets exorbitantly expensive. I don't know if we're actually getting there. I drive by this new development every day to go to work, and there are 3 colors of houses, and there's like 30 houses. It's gray, grayest, and grayer.
And that's why we're still in the postmodernism movement.
Okay.
So we're still getting a lot of modernism after effects, but we're starting to get people who want the ornate back. We're starting to get there. We're getting there slowly.
I guess, but it's not something that's zeitgeist, like in the air. Or like is of the world in the way that, like, purple and teal was in the 90s. I feel like it's a lot more niche right now, at least right now.
Yeah, and you know why that is?
Why is that?
Because we don't have near the artisans anymore. So artisans themselves are a niche. So you can't have... It's harder to get the ornate things that you want without paying out your booty hole for them. Because there's not enough artisans anymore.
I guess, yeah, not like classically trained. Like, no, there are artistic people. They do exist.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily pursue what they do because it doesn't fit within the realm of capitalism.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was going
Capitalism! We're there!
No, I mean, there are insanely talented artists. It's just, it right now... In the economic climate we're in, it can only ever be a hobby.
Yeah.
It can be something that can actually someone can make a living off of.
Yeah, it's rare to see someone making a living off of their artistry anymore. Mm-hmm. That's where we're at. People want it, but it's too expensive because it's too expensive to live because these artists have to live. It's expensive to make because materials are so much higher than they used to be. And yeah, like we were saying, the time it makes the artisan to make things has to be juggled with their regular work schedule.
Yeah.
Because they have to be able to make money to live, and everything sucks. But
you could just go to Target and buy a bunch of home decor and make your house
and it's
look like the inside of a Target.
Yeah, and like all of that home decor that you get there is made to just be goodwilled after you're tired of it. Like none of it's made to last. It's either going to break.
Well, and none of it like actually holds any meaning.
Yeah,
it's just there to fill space.
It's all whatever trend of the year, because that's where we're at now with design in general. Is everything has to be trendy of some sort.
Oh, even everything has to be now.
Yeah, even classic designs now have gotten to the point where you have to have some trendy bit about it to make it in the public eye, which we're going to get more into the actual design stuff next time. So don't get too crazy about that.
No, there's a Cell Dweller album, and yes, the music, where Clayton, the mastermind behind Cell Dweller, he's actually an insane person. But he has a whole album. I think it's called, is it Time? Damn it. But like throughout the album, it's actually like a sci-fi story being told like through like a whole thing. Like
cool.
That's how this stuff goes.
Yeah.
And the idea is there's a thing called how does it go? Everyone has had too much of now. No one wants more of it. Rememory is the key, and the idea is that there's this device called Rememory where it's truths of the forgotten past you can now re-experience. So it's like everyone is so tired of what's happening now that they go back into their own thoughts.
Yeah.
And like this whole musical album, you did an episode on Cell Dweller earlier, but it's like it's that everyone has had too much of now.
Yeah. And
so we go back to our roots, to what we heard. We look to the past and find something that resonates with us, and then we try to bring that up.
Yeah. which we will talk about that a bit in the next time we have this here when it's my turn. Because next episode we're going to talk about design and fashion more
Okay.
in the now-ish era.
Okay.
So we're going to start at the 90s and go up until now with fashion and design. But I thought we would review the movements for this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so modernism emphasized function and simplicity and purity. Our postmodernism time now celebrates more ambiguity and reinterpretation of things.
Mm-hmm.
But in a more...
and this is like an overarching thing. This movies, that's why I keep making remakes.
Yeah. And that's why we're seeing a lot of older things make a comeback, but in a new way. So right now, we'll talk a little bit about fashion this time, I guess. Because I went to Target today after work.
Did you find low-rise jeans yet?
No, everything is... Well, they might have been. I didn't look at them. Everything's 2000s
Hell yeah.
right now.
Actually, I don't even know what 2000s was.
Well, it's like baggy jeans and
Oh, yeah.
tiny tops and...
So small shirt, big pants.
Yeah, and like silky fabrics.
Oh.
And lace on things, which I'm a fan of lace on things.
Yeah, well, I mean, laces, that goes back and back.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, just tiny tops and big pants.
Because the 2000s for me was a hot topic. It was.
That's the 2000s I wish would come back.
Like, it was band T-shirts and bracers.
You know how much I miss old Hot Topic? Damn it, that's the next episode. Shut up.
I'm sorry.
But modernism was a rejection of traditional arts, where postmodernism is trying to renew traditional things.
Yeah.
Which is where we're at now. Do I have anything else? Or is that it?
No,
it might have been finally it. But, yeah. And you can see it now with flip houses, too.
Well, yeah, that's where the millennial gray comes from.
Yeah, and the painting over the brass doorknobs.
Yeah,
and the hinges.
And painting of stained wood trim.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys.
Oh, yeah, that makes me mad. I don't like that. Why do they do that?
No, that's actually one of the reasons why I can't progress in my house is because of all of the trim that I need to do. Because I'm standing it and sealing it and cutting it all myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just, go to Menards and get whatever
neutral
colored.
Or like the not actual wood trim or whatever. Where it's just
the veneered.
Yeah. Or where they just straight up put printed cardboard over particle board.
Yeah, and it's garbage. It's like, no, there's a reason why things like that are, but there's the whole like, oh yeah, it lasts longer. Yes, it does, because
but
you had to put care into doing it.
Yeah, like real wood will last a lifetime if you take care of it, where that particle stuff, you get it wet one time and it's done.
Well,
it is donezo.
Yeah, but I mean, the next person's going to come in and...
Yeah, and that's why it became popular, was because we started doing flip houses as human beings for some reason.
Well, again, capitalism, but everything has to have a monetary value for some reason, where you don't actually own anything. You're just the custodian of it for the next person.
Yeah. Which
is fucking awful. I hate that mentality. There's a car YouTuber that I follow, and it's like, yeah, my dream car, like it's, I could probably get it for like $100,000, and then in like 10 years, it'll still be only like $95,000. It's like, why do you care about the value in 10 years? Isn't this the car that you've wanted your whole life? Aren't you going to keep it?
Yeah.
No, the idea is to eventually sell it. It's like, well, then why own it?
Yeah, why even bother?
Like, if it's not something that, again, that's why my house is a constant work in progress. It's because I'm learning to care for it correctly.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened to her, but I was following a lady on Facebook or Instagram where she was restoring her Victorian house.
Ooh.
And people were losing their goddamn minds about it.
Okay.
They're like, who's gonna buy this
Well,
after you?
okay, that's what
like
they're
this.
thinking.
Because she put up like a floral wallpaper again in the sitting room because that makes sense for a Victorian house.
Yeah.
Who's gonna buy that after you and want that? She's like, I don't give a shit. This is my house. And she made like a kind of complainy, air quotes, video on how expensive it was to. So she stripped all of the paint off the brass
Oh, yeah.
fittings, and some of them were not good. So she was like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive to replace these brass fittings and stuff. And people were like, why don't you just go to the dollar store and buy... It's like, first of all, that shit ain't a no dollar store I've ever been to.
Well, hell,
And
even like a Home Depot or a Lowe's,
Yeah.
like, you know, oh yeah, just go get a brass doorknob. It's like, well, they're plastic,
yeah,
painted
they're
gold.
not
like,
real. And she wanted to replace everything real, so she was. And she was making a little complaint about it, and people were freaking out because she was complaining about it, which is ridiculous.
Well, and
But people on the internet like to hate on
well, no,
everything
because you can
and anything.
you can anonymously just yell shit.
Troll.
But like, yes, the old ways were difficult, and the old ways now are expensive. However, there's a reason why they did it that way.
Yeah.
Like a brass doorknob has a lot of benefits. Like the coating of it, actually, like it doesn't need oil because it doesn't rust.
Yeah.
Also, a brass doorknob is self-cleaning because germs can't
Yep.
exist on it.
Which is why they should be used in hospitals and stuff. But,
COVID.
But they don't look nice. People think they don't look nice, which I think they look fine. I don't give a shit.
Stainless steel does the same thing.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. I'm more about the ornate eras. I'm way more into those than I am the modernism.
No, because all that stuff like tells a story. A very, very good friend of mine, her house in Kearney, I don't know if she actually lives in that one anymore, but it was like a century home. And like there's like the formal dining room, and there's like the family dining room, there's like the parlor.
Yeah.
But the house was like so old, and I think it was like a foster home before.
Oh.
But you can see that there was evidence of like, I mean, she's very just like everything had to be like pristine for her.
Mm-hmm.
And well, she didn't have any kids at the time. But you could see that like, oh, there's scratches on a lot of the wood below 3 feet. Because you can tell that kids lived here. And like, it's like, oh no, that needs to be sanded down and resealed. No, or
just leave it.
Or it tells a story.
Yeah, just leave it. And like, that's another thing that I think we are not good at as modern people is we're always chasing perfection and things always have to look nice and blah, blah, blah. We can't have just like shit because we like it, because that's not what capitalism wants. It all boils down to capitalism be bad. Methinks. But, oh yeah, this was a nice and dandy fact that I ran across the other day. So, previous empires, on average, lasted about 250 years.
Mm-hmm.
Next year,
Oh no.
be America's 250th.
Well, I mean, I feel like the Egyptians stayed around for a while.
Yeah, that's why I said average.
Oh, okay.
And they had their own set of issues. Oh, shit, that was a news thing I forgot. So they did a, some kind of sound scanning onto the main pyramid.
Oh, it's like ultrasonic or
Oh, I can't, it was something along the lines of sonar almost.
oh, okay.
And what the thing showed was 8 spiral, like, it was 8 cylinder, like, tubes from inside the pyramid that had like a little tube running around them. It's almost like a stairwell, perhaps.
Or it could be a slide.
I mean, it could be a slide. Yes. That, so for...
Jordan is building playgrounds for the pharaohs.
Whee! That go down to these two square little rooms. Well, I mean, they're probably not little. So they were saying that the tubes run like 680 meters underground, which is a lot.
Yeah, no,
that's a shit ton.
Yeah.
And then inside the pyramid is like 5 little building things almost. They don't have walls. They're just like, I don't know how to describe them.
How do you have no walls underground? Bro, you need walls underground.
No, this is like, it's not talking about the room they're in. This is talking about the actual things in the room.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? So they have little roofs, and then they have like...
so like gazebos.
No, because they're not open. Well, the sides are open, but they're like, it's almost like a shelf.
Okay.
Where they have different levels.
Oh, okay.
And there's 5 of them.
So it's
which is a weird